the indigenous in the Western Hemisphere are known to have had an impact on their environment. Well, let's look at that pristine wilderness myth again. And part of that we romanticize today is that they looked after the land so well, which they really did. But this idea that they didn't change the land at all is not accurate. In fact, they changed the land considerably. They worked with the land. They had an impact on the environment in South America, in Mesoamerica, and in North America, all up and down from Tierra del Fuego up until the North Pole. They made attempts to have an impact on their environment. So the pristine wilderness myth does not tie in when we look at that aspect of it. They treated the land as a garden in a way, a continental wide garden, and that analogy fits quite well because some of the changes that they would make were almost on a continental scale. Now yes, they had a great respect for ecological issues, and they had a great respect for the land. It was tied in with their spiritual elements, but that didn't mean that they didn't change the land. Now, they did have a deep respect for the Mother Earth. Now, that term actually is widespread very far down into the south, certainly down into Mesoamerica and all around North America, as another indicator that a lot of these peoples were connected together. There were some contiguous aspects to it. Certainly there were some great differentialities between some of the more brutal type of cultures, you could say, are ones that we wouldn't want to aspire to, for sure, and some of the more voluntary systems in North America. But this idea that we have still today, traveling at the speed of war, it could be called, that's a European thing. Wars had been going on, large wars, as they did in South America, but they certainly had been going on in Europe. North America was more like skirmishes, really. It could almost be like a sport. They didn't line up all their people in these big lines and kill each other off like that. But traveling at the speed of war is this progress, come what may, where you're not really thinking of 200 years in the future, which is 7-generational thinking. You're not really considering your grandchildren. You're not really considering your ancestors. Traveling at the speed of war means, hey, they're down the road. They're coming. You don't have time to organize something. You don't have time for a pre-planned environment and making cities that are all completely organized. If you're traveling at the speed of war, you're just going along moment to moment, week to week, and trying to survive what I call a come what may type of a progress, traveling at the speed of war. So this impact that they had on the environment, which we'll touch on again, was up and down the entire Western Hemisphere. And we'll see you soon.